नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Lila Priya Radhadasi from Dallas, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha conference call. And thank you for attending this session. Please pardon me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. Moving on to the next stage of today's conference call, I would like to go through the 10 offenses to the holy name written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Puran. Number 1, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Number 2, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. Number 3, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Number 4, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in persons to the Vedic version. Number 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Number 6, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitative activities, Karma Kand. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prem. So once again, welcome to today's call and thank you very much for joining us. Before we move on to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class, I will let all the devotees on the call to please go ahead with your introductions now.
हरे कृष्ण लीला प्रिया राधा माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय। प्रीति दासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट एंड हैप्पी निर्जला एकादशी टू एवरीवन। हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna, Bilki Mataji. Dhanvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
And
हरे
yes,
कृष्ण
happy
माता
Ekadashi
जी,
to
दंडवत
everyone.
प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय। हैप्पी एकादशी टू एवरीवन। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Arvind Prabhuji. Dhanvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Leela Priya Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjri Leela Devi Dasi from Naperville. Happy Nirjala Ekadashi to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjri Leela Mataji. Dhanvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Dhanvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Leela Priya Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Wishing all the devotees a very happy Nirjala Ekadashi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. This is Balavinda.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji. Dhanvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Balavrinda. So good to see you here.
Hare Krishna, Leela Priya Radha Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Vallabha.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Dhanvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and the assembled devotees. This is Revati from Atlanta, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Revati Mataji, Dandat Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna, dear Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Param Pavani Shama Devi Dasi from Baltimore, Maryland. Happy Ekadashi to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा लीला प्रिया राधा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय दिस इज श्यामा गौरी देवीदासी फ्रॉम शार्लेट
Hare Krishna Shamagari Mataji, Dandat Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Lila Priya Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, my Dandavat Pranams to all the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. Happy Ekadasi to all of you. This is Susmita from Canada.
Hare Krishna Sushmita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Leela
Krishna Mataji.
Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. This is Harita from Houston, Texas, wishing you all a happy Ekadashi. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Harita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. This is Manmohan Agarwal from India. Wishing all the Vaishnavas a very happy Ekadashi. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. We're extremely fortunate to have His Grace Radhika Vallabha Prabhuji here with us today. And Prabhuji would be enlightening us by discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 8, and verse 25 and 26. Hare Krishna Radhika Vallabha Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Without further ado, I would like to request you to please take over from here. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Leela Priya Radha Mataji. Thank you very much. We will begin today's Srimad Bhagavatam class with the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome all the devotees for this Srimad Bhagavatam class. I also want to thank the organizers of the Bhakti Sangha Japa conference for giving this opportunity to speak some words on Srimad Bhagavatam. So today we are going to discuss from the 7th canto, 8th chapter entitled Lord Narsingadev slays the king of the demons. Verse number 25 and 26. Tato vipadya Bhyahanan Mahasuro Rusha Nasingham Gadayoruvegaya Tam Vikramantam Sagadam Gadadharo Mahoragam Tarkshyasuto Yatagrahit. Tatah, thereafter, Abhipadya, attacking, Abhyahanat, struck, Mahasuraha, the great demon, Hiranyakashipu, Rusha, with anger, Narsimham, Lord Narsimhadev, Gadaya, by his club, Uruvegaya, moving with great force, Tam, him, Hiranyakashipu, Vikramantam, showing his prowess, Sagadam, with his club, Gadadaraha, Lord Narsimhadev, who holds a club in his hand, Maha Uragam, a great snake, Tarkshya Suta, Garuda, the son of Tarkshya, Yata, just as Agrahit, captured. Translation. Thereafter, the great demon Hiranyakashipu, who was extremely angry, swiftly attacked Narsimhadev with his club and began to beat him. Lord Narsimhadev, however, captured the great demon along with his club, just as Garuda might capture a great snake. Next shloka. Satasya hasto kalitastadasuro vikridato yadvadahirgarutmatah asadvamanyanta kritauka Ghanachada Bharata Sarvadhishnyapaha. Saha he Hiranyakashipu Tasya of him, Lord Narsimhadev, Hasta from the hands, Utkalitaha slipped. Tada at that time, Asuraha the king of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, Vikridata playing, Yadvat exactly like, Ahihi a snake, Garutmataha of Garuda, Asadu, not very good. Amanyanta, considered. Krita Vokasaha, whose abodes were taken by Hiranyakashipu. Amara, the demigods. Ganachada, situated behind a cover of clouds. Bharata, O great son of Bharata. Sarva Dishnyapāha, the rulers of the heavenly planets. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation, O Yudhishthir, O great son of Bharata, when Lord Narsimhadev gave Hiranyakashipu a chance to slip from his hand, just as Garuda sometimes plays with a snake and lets it slip from his mouth, the demigods who had lost their abodes and were hiding behind the clouds for fear of the demon did not consider that incident very good. Indeed, they were perturbed. Purport. When Hiranyakashipu was in the process of being killed by Lord Narsimhadev, the Lord gave the demon a chance to slip from his clutches. This incident was not very much appreciated by the demigods, for they were greatly afraid of Hiranyakashipu. They knew that if somehow or other Hiranyakashipu escaped from Narsimhadev's hands, and saw that the demigods were looking forward to his death with great pleasure, he would take great revenge upon them. Therefore, they were very much afraid. Hare Krishna. So we are discussing this very action-packed scene of the fight between Narasimhadev and Hiranyakashipu. When Narasimhadev appeared, we saw in the previous shlokas, Hiranyakashipu was looking at Narasimhadev. He couldn't understand what this creature was. He started conjecturing in various ways. And then he started attacking Narasimhadev. Narasimhadev's, the Lord's effulgence was so bright that Hiranyakashipu almost disappeared into that effulgence of the Lord. That was explained in the previous shloka. Alakshitognau patita patangamo yata nirsimhau yasiso surastada natat vichitram khalu sattva dhamani swatejasa yonu pura pibattamah. Swatejasa yonu pura apipad tamah. At the time of Pralaya Kala, the Lord actually drinks the entire tamoguna, intense darkness, by his effulgence. Pura tamaha apibat. So that is the effulgence of the Lord. The intense nature of tamoguna, the intense darkness, is eradicated or drunk by the Lord at the time of Pralaya Kala. Therefore, it is not astonishing for the Lord who is situated in Sattva Guna that when the Hiranyakashipu attacked the Lord, although Hiranyakashipu was such a powerful demon, but when he attacked the Lord who is so effulgent that Hiranyakashipu practically became invisible. It's not astonishing because during the Pralaya Kala, the intense tamoguna, intense darkness is actually destroyed, or it is drunk by the Lord by his effulgence. Apibat tamaha apibat. And then again, Hiranyakashipu, again he attacks the Narasimhadev. Tataha abipadya. Abipadya means what? Abipadya means coming in front. Abhimukam agatya. Coming again, Hiranyakashipu came in front of the Lord. Tataha, thereafter, abipadya. Mahasuraha, the great Asura Hiranyakashipu. That Hiranyakashipu, Mahasuraha, Rusha, with anger, Rusha with anger, and Uru Vegaya Gadaya. Uru Vegaya Gadaya means with the Gada, with a great speed. Uru Vegaya is the adjective for Gadaya. The Gada which is moving with a great force, with such a Gada, what Hiranyakashipu did? Narasimham Abhyahanat. Narasimham Abhyahanat. He attacked Narasimha, or he struck Narasimhadev. Narasimham Abhyahanat. And then, how did Narasimhadev react to that? Gadadaraha. Gadadaraha refers to Narasimhadev, who holds a Gada in his hand. Krishna is called Gadadara. Any place the word comes, Gadadara. That Lord who is Gadadara, Tam Sagadam Vikramantam. That Hiranyakashipu, Sagadam Vikramantam, who is there along with the Gada. Mahoragam Tarkshisutaha Maharugam Yata Agrahit. So the Gadadaraha, the Lord, tam sagadam vikramantam tam agrahit. The Lord who is Gadadhara, he agrahit, he captured that Hiranyakashipu along with his Gada. He captured that Hiranyakashipu was having the Gada. Analogy is given. Yata tarkshya sutaha mahoragam agrahid. Yata, just like tarkshya suta. Tarkshya suta refers to Garuda. Tarkshya suta refers to Garuda. Just like Garuda sometimes captures a Maha Uragam, a great snake. Similarly, the Gadadhar, the Supreme Lord, Narasimhadev, he captured Hiranyakashipu. Tam Sagadam Vikramantam Tam Agrahit. And then next shloka. And then after he captured Hiranyakashipu, Tasya Hastat Utkalitaha. Tasya Hastat Tasya hasta utkalitaha. From the hand of Narasimhadev, utkalitaha, Hiranyakashipu slipped. Tada asuraha tasya hasta utkalitaha. At that time, the Lord captured Hiranyakashipu, but at that time Hiranyakashipu slipped from his hands. Tada. Again, the analogy is given. The analogy is carried forward. Yata yadvad garutmatah vikridatah garutmatah ahir utkalitah. Just like Garuda who is playing with a snake. From the mouth of Garuda, the snake actually slips and falls down. The snake actually slips away. Just like the Garuda, Vikridatah Garutmatah means Vikridatah means just like from the Garuda who is playing with the snake. From his mouth, Ahihi, the Ahi actually falls down, slips away. Similarly, from the hand of Narasimhadev, Hasta Utkalita, the Asura slipped away. And the Devatas are watching that. And the reaction of the Devatas are mentioned in the next line. Amaraha. Amaraha refers to Devatas. And then there are three other adjectives to describe the Amaraha. Kritau Kasaha. Kritau Kasaha means the Devatas whose abodes have been stolen by the Hiranyakashipu. Krita Okasaha. Krita Okasa means Devatas whose abodes have been usurped or taken away by the Hiranyakashipu. Those Devatas. And Ganachada. Gana refers to the clouds. Chada refers to hiding behind. These Devatas who are hiding behind the clouds. And Sarva Dishnapaha. Sarva Dishnapaha means the protectors of the different directions. Sarva Dishyapa refers to the Sarva Lokapala. All the Lokapala, the Devatas, who are the protectors of the different lokas, or who are the guardians of the different directions. So Sarva Dishyapaha, Kritaukasaha, Ganachadaha. These three are adjectives or Visheshana for the word Amaraha. Such Devatas, so they saw that Hiranyakashipu has slipped from the hand of Narasimhadev. So by seeing that, what they thought in their mind, asadu iti amanyanta. Asadu, oh, this is not proper. This is not proper. Like that they thought. Amanyanta. Bharata, Narada Muni is speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Bharata is addressing Yudhishthira as Bharata, who is descendant of Bharata. So asadu amanyanta. That they did not consider that incident to be very good. Because why they considered like that? Because they felt that Hiranyakashipu is looking at us. Hiranyakashipu is looking that we are seeing this fight by hiding behind the clouds. In case if Hiranyakashipu survives this battle, then Hiranyakashipu previously had taken away only our life, only our abodes. But then Hiranyakashipu, seeing that we were actually hiding behind the clouds and looking at the battle, by that Hiranyakashipu will understand that we are all desiring his death. And suppose if he survives the battle, then he will become more angry towards us. He will take away our life here also. He will take away our life here also. He will kill us also. So in that way, thinking like that, the Devatas, they actually they consider this incident not very good. Asadu amanyanta. That's what Prabhupada is writing in the purport. If somehow or other Hiranyakashipu escaped from Narasimhadeva's hands, then he would take great revenge upon them. Therefore, they were very much afraid. So we see it's a beautiful shloka from the 8th canto, the very intense fight between Hiranyakashipu and Narasimhadev. So we can see some points from this shloka. We can see the nature of a demon like Hiranyakashipu. Although the previous shloka described that the Lord was so effulgent that Hiranyakashipu practically disappeared into the effulgence of the Lord. But Hiranyakashipu did not lose his confidence, did not lose his determination, and he came to again attack Narasimhadev with great speed. Uru Vegaya Gadaya, Rusha, with great anger he attacked the Lord. So that is the nature of a demon. And here Hiranyakashipu is compared to a snake, and the Lord is compared to a Garuda. Just like sometimes Garuda captures a snake, Lord captured Hiranyakashipu, and Garuda, he captures the snake and then plays with the snake, and while playing with the snake will actually slip from the Garuda's mouth. So normally, one is not supposed to play with the snake actually. However expert a person may be in catching the snakes, one should not play with the snake. I remember around maybe around 15 years back, there was one devotee, there was one brahmachari in Nigidi. Nigidi is a place near Pune. So the Nigidi temple ashram, it was next to the farmland actually. So many times the snakes would also come there. And there was one brahmachari who was expert in catching the snakes. And he had caught many snakes in the past. He had caught many snakes, and he was expert in catching the snakes. So one snake when he caught, he became, because of his confidence of having caught so many snakes in the past, he started little playing with the snake. And then because of the callousness, that snake actually bit him. And then when the snake bit him, then he was taken to the hospital. He was brought from Nigadi to Bombay, Jaslok Hospital, and he was admitted in the ICU for some days. So at that time, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he was told about this incident. he gave a Sunday feast class. I'm sure it will be, the recording must be there, about on this topic of playing with the snake of Maya. He took that whole incident and said that how sometimes because of having caught so many snakes in the past, one may become little careless, one may play with the snake. So he took the team and said that how sometimes a sadhaka, because of maybe practicing bhakti for many years, or because of different, because of having achieved different things, one may think that one may take the Maya little carelessly. One may not take Maya seriously. The Prabhupada said that my only complaint about my devotees is that they are not sufficiently afraid of Maya. So one of the sign of an advanced devotee is that the more a person climbs on the mountain of purity, the more one will be cautious. The more one will be careful, because the more one will be careful and cautious of Maya, because if a person falls, the impact is also more, falling from the great height. So that is why we see the episodes like in the 5th canto, Rishabhadev, in the last stage of his life, so many mystic siddhis approached him, but still he did not accept any of the mystic siddhis. And Parishit Maharaj asked a question about that. Shukdev Goswami said that the advanced yogis, they never trust their mind. They never trust their mind, because mind is like a wild animal. Sometimes the hunter or the person who has captured the wild animal, if he is careless, if he puts more trust on that animal, how much ever that animal he might have trained that animal in the past, if he is little careless, that same animal can kill that very person. And then Shukdev Goswami gives the example of how even Lord Shiva became little overconfident and he wanted to have darshan of Mohini Murti, but he got carried away by the beauty of Mohini Murti. Shaubari Muni, who performed austerities under the water for many, many years, even he got affected. He fell down from his path of purity, from his platform of purity, by seeing the mating between the male fish and the female fish. So Radhanath Swami Maharaj explained that how one should not play with the snake of Maya. So when a person, in order to advance in Krishna consciousness, one has to understand two things, or one should take Maya seriously. One should take Maya seriously means one should understand that Maya is very powerful. At the same time, one should also understand that Krishna is also powerful. Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mamaya Duratyaya Mameva ye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. One should understand how Maya is very powerful and also Krishna is powerful. So here, therefore, one should not play with the snake. But then, the Supreme Lord, he can play with the snake. He can play with he allowed the demon to slip from his hand. So the Lord is so powerful. He allowed the demon to slip from his hand. And on seeing that, the Devatas became afraid. So Krishna performs his pastimes in such a way that it creates excitement in the people who are watching that pastime. Because when there is an excitement, there is a greater absorption in the pastime. So Krishna allowed the demon to slip away. So we see that in this episode, Hiranyakashipu's nature, Hiranyakashipu is attacking the body of the Lord. So the demons like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, they directly attack the body of the Lord. And the same demoniac mentality is also exhibited in the modern times by the people who attack the body of the Lord with their words. The ancient demons attack the body of the Lord with their weapons, but the modern demons, they attack the body of the Lord with the words. Hiranyaksha, when he was fighting with Varahadev, he tried to embrace Varahadev and then in that way kill Varahadev by embracing Varahadev. He wanted to crush Varahadev. So Prabhupada says that this is the nature of the mental speculators. Mental speculators with their limited mind and senses, they try to bring the Lord, they try to understand the Lord with their limited mind and senses. Such kind of mental speculators, they also have the mindset of Hiranyaksha. So the demoniac people in the current times, how they attack the Supreme Lord or the Shastra with various theories. For example, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says, Asatyam apratishtam te jagadahur anishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kimanyat kama haitukam. So the demons say that asatyam, they say that there is only one soul in this world. Or asatyam means they say that this world is a false. This world is filled with error. Just like we sometimes mistake a shell to be the silver. Similarly, we are mistaking the world to be real, but actually this world is false. This world is asatya. And apratishtam. Apratishtam. This world has no basis, it has no shelter. Just like Akasha Pushpa. Akasha Pushpa has no shelter. Similarly, this world has no shelter. Anishwaram. There is no God who is the cause of this world. There is no God who is the cause of creation, maintenance, and destruction of this world. Because if there were a Supreme Lord who is within the world, then the world he created would not be ephemeral, it would not be temporary. Therefore, they consider that the world must be false. Why would a God create a temporary world? Therefore, but this world is false. Therefore, there is no God in control. So there are people who talk about this Eka Jiva Vada. There is only one soul in this world. There is only one soul, but because of error in knowledge, that one soul gets reflected in the form of the material world and the individual jivas and the Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, the Paramatma. Actually, there is only one soul, but because of our illusion, we perceive that one soul in the form of the material world, individual living entities, and the Paramatma. But when we realize that there is only oneness, there is only one soul, at that time there is no contradiction and there is only oneness. Until that knowledge of Eka Jiva Vada, until that knowledge of that there is only one soul, until this knowledge awakens, we see, whatever we see in this world, we will see elephants, horses, cows, humans, asuras, all these things which we see, they are all simply a dream. But when we realize that there is only one soul in this world, at that time, the dream will disappear. Just like in the dream, we may see different entities, but when we go into deep sleep, whatever we see in the dream disappears. So similarly, because we are in the state of dream, we are perceiving different individual living entities. We are perceiving the material world. We are perceiving the Paramatma. But then when we realize there is only one soul, at that time, all these differences will disappear. So like that, there are people with the Eka Jiva Vada. They say their philosophy is described in this word Asatyam, Apratishtam, Anishwaram. And then Aparaspara Sambhutam. Aparaspara Sambhutam, there are the Buddha, Aparaspara Sambhutam refers to the Buddhistic philosophy. The Buddhistic philosophy, they say that the creation takes place by its own nature, or the world has come about by chance. The world is not arising because of the union between a male and a female. The world has come just like a chance. It has just come. The creation takes place by its own nature, spontaneously. So, like that, the Buddhistic philosophy or the modern scientists who talk about the chance theory, they are described this Aparaspara Sambhutam. And Kimanyat Kama Haitukam. The only cause, the Kamanyat Kama Haitukam refers to the Charvak philosophers, who say that the only cause of the world is the Kama. And the only purpose of this world is the Kama. That is the cause and also the purpose. In that way, Charvak philosophers are the materialists who only believe in the Pratyaksha Pramana. They speak like that. And Kimanyat refers to certain philosophers who say that whatever you imagine as the cause of the universe, you can imagine that. You can accept that. The cause of the world is whatever you can imagine, whatever one can imagine. Like that, there are different people with a demonic mindset. They also attack the Lord by propounding these theories. So they also have the Hiranyakashipu attacked the Lord with his weapon, but the different people, the modern demons, attack the Lord with the various theories. Our Vishwanath Chakravartipad says that the demons who say that this world has no confirmation from the Vedas, Puranas, or other sources of knowledge. The makers of the Vedas are jackals imitating wise men. The Vedas are created by jackal-like people who imitate to be a wise people. So this world has no confirmation from the Vedas, Puranas, or other sources of knowledge. And there is nothing called as dharma and adharma. The ideas of dharma and adharma both are mistaken conceptions. And Anishwaram, the Lord is also conceived on the basis of a mistake or a bhrama. In this way, there are different people who say Vedanta Desika Ramanuja, they explain that Asatyam Apratishtam. Asatyam means the demons think that in this world there is the Chetana Vastu, Atma, and the achetana vastu, the matter. Both the chetana vastu and achetana vastu, they are actually under the control of the Supreme Lord, the Brahman. But the demons, they don't accept this. They accept the chetana vastu and the achetana vastu, but they don't accept that the chetana vastus and achetana vastus, they are under the control of the Supreme Lord. They don't accept that they are Brahmatmaka. They are under the control of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, when they say asatyam means they say that the chetana vastu and achetana vastu, they are not regulated by the Brahman. They are not under the control of the Brahman. And then apratishtam. So the scriptures describe how the universes are held by Lord Ananta. And how it's also described that how Kurma Deva is holding the universes. Kurma Deva is the bottom of the universe. But the Asuras, they don't accept this. They don't accept that Apratishta means there is a support for this universe. They don't accept that Ananta is holding the universes. They don't accept that Kurma Deva is holding the universes. Kurma Deva is holding Ananta. Because they say that if there is a support, then if there is a support, if Ananta is if Kurma Deva is holding, who is supporting Kurma Deva? And if it is some other entity, they will ask who is supporting that entity. So there will be an infinite regress. So therefore they say that there is nobody who is supporting, there is nobody who is holding this universe. Asatyam apratishtam te jagadahur anishwaram. Anishwaram, they don't accept that the Lord has created this world by his Satya Sankalpa Shakti. Satya Sankalpena Parena Brahmana Sarveshwarena Maya Yetat Niyamitam Iticha Na Vadanti. So actually Krishna creates this world by his Satya Sankalpa Shakti. They will not accept that. They may say that, oh, this Devata has created, this Prajapati has created. But the ultimate cause is the Supreme Lord who has created this world by Satya Sankalpa Shakti. They don't accept that. That is what Anishwaram means. In that way, the demons in the current time, they also attack the body of the Lord by these various theories. And yetam drishtim avashtabhya nashtatmano alpa buddhayah prabhavanti ugra karmana kshayaya jagato hita. In this way, etam drishtim avashtabhya. In this way, by taking shelter of these various viewpoints, nashtatmanaha, not understanding the difference between the body and soul, alpa buddhayah, believing in worthless philosophies, and prabhavanti ugra karmanaha kshayaya jagato hita, they perform activities which cause destruction to the world. They perform destructive activities, or they perform violent actions, and being hostile to the world. Kshayaya jagato hita means these people deviate the world from the spiritual truth. They misguide the people from the spiritual truths mentioned in the Shastras. So, in this way, we see that the Hiranyakashipu is attacking the transcendental body of the Lord. The modern demons attack the transcendental body of the Lord, or that they attack the Lord and his creation by their various theories. So, I'll also discuss one more shloka. from the 7th canto, 7.3.37, which also which actually gives indication how the Lord's body is transcendental. But the demons, they consider the Lord's body to be ordinary. So this particular shloka is also quoted by Jiva Goswami in the Bhagavad Sandarbha, when Hiranyakashipu was asking benedictions from Brahma. He said that Vyasubiruva Sumadbiruva Surasura Mahoragaihi. Vyasubir Va Asumadbirva. Grant me that I not meet death from any living entity, living or non-living. So especially focus on this word Vyasubihi Va Asumadbihi. I should not be killed by a living entity, by any entity which is living or not living. Or it means that I should not be killed by any entity which is animate, Vyasubihi, or inanimate. Whether a Deva or Asura or a great snake from the lower planets. So this particular phrase, when Hiranyakashipu is asking this benediction, this also proves that how the Lord's body is transcendental. How? So Jiva Goswami says that when Hiranyakashipu is asked this benediction, Hiranyakashipu requested boons with the intent of becoming immortal, attempting to cover all the possible sources of death. So Hiranyakashipu said that, let me not be killed by an entity who has life here, and let me not be killed by an entity which does not have life here. Vyasubihi va asumadbihi va. So Jiva Goswami says that Hiranyakashipu, when he is making this statement, Hiranyakashipu intended to deny an agent with such a characteristics. Agent means what? Karta. So in Sanskrit there is a Karta and a Karana. Karta is the agent, Karana is the instrument. When Hiranyakashipu is asking this benediction, he actually meant the Karta, who is either animate or inanimate. He was not referring to the instrument. He requested not to be killed by any entity, any being that either breathes or does not breathe. Vyasubihi means that which breathes. And Asumadbihi means that which does not breathe. But then Hiranyakashipu failed to ask one particular case. What is that case? He failed to ask that let me not be killed by an entity which breathes and also does not breathe simultaneously. He asked these two cases. Let me not be killed by an entity which breathes. And let me not be killed by an entity which does not breathe. But he was not aware of that entity. There is an entity which breathes and also does not breathe. He did not ask, he did not include this particular category. Let me not be killed by an entity which breathes and does not breathe. Because that particular characteristic, breathing at the same time non-breathing, this characteristic is present in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is transcendental. Because the Lord actually, Lord breathes, but at the same time, but not in the way the ordinary human beings do. Lord's breath, like his body, senses, and so on, is an inherent manifestation of his essential nature. The Lord breathes, but not like an ordinary living entity. In the case of an ordinary living entity, the senses and the body, they are not part of his essential nature. But the Lord's different senses are part of his inherent Swarupa Shakti. So the Lord actually fits into a unique category who neither breathes and does not breathe. Ishopanishad talks about this characteristics of the Lord. Tad ejati, tan naijati. Tad dure, tad vantike. He walks and does not walk. He is far away and near as well. So these contradictory qualities are mentioned in the Ishopanishad, mantra 4 and 5. So the Lord fits into that category who both breathes and does not breathe. But Hiranyakashipu failed to ask this particular condition, failed to ask this particular benediction. And particularly Jiva Goswami is saying that if Hiranyakashipu, when he is mentioning Vyasubhihi Asumadbihi Va, he was referring to the Karta. He was not referring to the Karana. Karana means the instrument. Suppose if Hiranyakashipu, so Karta and Karana both are used in the Tritiya Vibhakti. Kartru Karanayos Tritiya, that is the Panini Sutra. So Vyasubhihi Va Asumadbihi, it is used in the Tritiya Vibhakti. So, but here Vyasubhihi Asumadbihi, it is not referring to the Karana, it is referring to the Karta. Suppose if the Hiranyakashipu's intention had been to deny not the agent but an instrument that is either living or non-living. Suppose Hiranyakashipu's intention is that let me not be killed by an instrument which is living. Let me not be killed by an instrument which is non-living. Suppose if that was the intention of Hiranyakashipu's benediction, then any human being, any living entity could have killed Hiranyakashipu with the nails. Because nail is an instrument. But nail is that instrument which can be considered living and also non-living, both simultaneously. How? Because nail can be considered living because nail grows. Only that which has life grows. Because the nail grows, nail can be considered as living. At the same time, that nail can be considered as non-living because nail can be clippable. Nails can be clipped. So therefore, nails are considered to be living and non-living. So if Hiranyakashipu, when he is saying Vyasubhihi Va Asumadbihi, if suppose if his intention had been to deny an agent which is either living or which is non-living, then any human being or any animal could have killed Hiranyakashipu with the nail instrument, because nail is that particular instrument which neither fits into the category of living and non-living. It is an instrument which is both living and non-living. So any living entity could have killed Hiranyakashipu with the nails. But nobody was able to kill Hiranyakashipu with the nails. So therefore, Hiranyakashipu, when he asked this benediction, he was actually referring to the Karta. He was, let me not be killed by an agent who is either living or who is not living, who breathes and does not breathe. So while asking that, he did not include that category of the agent which is both living and non-living. And therefore, the Lord fits under that category. The Lord breathes and does not breathe. He walks and does not, he walks and at the same time he does not walk. Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter also, Krishna mentions about the absolute truth. These contradictory qualities of the Lord are described by Krishna. So the Narsimhadev, therefore, why I'm quoting this shloka? This shloka, just by the words of Hiranyakashipu, Vyasubhihi va Asumadbihi va, it actually proves the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord. The Lord was able to kill Hiranyakashipu because the Lord fits into that category who is both living and non-living, who is breathing at the same time not breathing. Because this is possible because of the transcendental nature of the Lord. So this proves that the Lord's existence, like in the case of our existence is dependent on the breath. But the Lord's existence is not dependent on his breath. Rather, his breath is an inherent and a natural manifestation of his existence. And the Lord killed him with his nails, which implies that his nails are non-different from him, and therefore satisfied the condition of being both with and without life here. So in the case of the Lord, in the case of when we are doing suppose with our nail we are piercing something, we are tearing of something, we are using the nail as an instrument. And that instrument nail is different from us, the Karta. But in the case of the Lord killed Hiranyakashipu with his nails. And his nails are non-different from him. The Lord killed him with his nails, which implies that his nails are non-different from him and therefore satisfy the condition of being both with and without life here. So therefore, the Lord's limbs are transcendental and a part of his Swarupa Shakti. And one more shloka, with that I will end. So how the Lord's body is transcendental, but the demons consider the body of the Lord to be ordinary, and they think that they can kill the body of the Lord with their weapons. Or they try to attack the body of the Lord with their words. So how the Lord's body is transcendental? So we also seen another shloka in the Srimad Bhagavatam spoken by Rukmini Devi. This is 10.60.45. So Rukmini Devi says, Twaks Mashru Roma Nakakesha Pinaddi Mantar Mamsasti Rakta Krimivit Kapapitta Vatam Jiva Chavam Bhajati Kanta Matir Vimuda Yate Padabja Makarandam Ajigrati Stri. So Rukmini Devi says that a woman who fails to relish the fragrance of the honey of your lotus feet becomes totally befooled, and thus she accepts as her husband or lover a living corpse covered with skin, whiskers, nails, head hair and body hair, and filled with flesh, bones, blood, parasites, feces, mucus, bile and air. So in this shloka, Rukmini Devi gives a very lucid description of the material body. And the material body is dead, although it appears alive. And she says that how can a person enjoy embracing a dead body, which is impure, filthy, abominable, untouchable, and a source of fear? When we analyze the contents of the material body, the only rasa or a taste a person can relish in relation to the material body is bibhatsa rasa. That means bibhatsa means the sentiment of being disgusted. That is the only rasa a person can relish in relation to the material body. Although the outer covering of the skin may look attractive, but the interior of the body is filled with foul intestines, flesh wrapped around the bones, all tied together with the nerves and veins, and it is full of inside the body there are worms, biles and stool and urine, mucus. That is why Jiva Goswami, Sanatan Goswami writes in his comment. Jiva Goswami writes in his commentary that he says that yadi namasya kayasya yad antas tad bahir bhavet dandam udyamya lokoyam shuna kakamsya varayet. Suppose if the contents of the body were worn on the outside, one would continuously, if the contents of the body are taken out and they are spread outside, so many dogs and vultures would immediately come to that place. A person would be continuously spend time to ward off the dogs and vultures with a stick. Because that is the nature of the contents inside the body. So we also get a glimpse of what is there within our body in certain times of our day. How certain foul odor comes from our body. Sometimes when we are diseased, we can understand the contents which are there within the body. So everybody is actually exposed to the foul nature of the substances within the body. But still, one considers others' body to be beautiful. So how is it, although everybody is exposed to what is there within the body, but still one becomes attracted to another's body? How is it possible? Therefore, Rukmini Devi says that Vimuda. She says that Jivan Chavam Bhajati Kantamatir Vimuda. It is only because of being bewildered, a person gets attracted to the external beauty of another's body. So just like sometimes in a state of intoxication, and in the state of intoxication, a person can take pleasure even while lying in a gutter. So similarly, because of our intoxicated state, a living entity gets attracted to the beautiful external body of another person. So, but just like a person who relishes the fragrance of the lotus flowers will definitely abhor the odor emanating from a gutter. But although although the crow may consider that odor to be pleasant, but a person who relishes the fragrance of the lotus flower will consider that odor to be abominable. So similarly, in this world, Rukmini Devi says that those people who have not tasted the nectarian pastimes of the Lord are those who are not yate padabja makarandam ajigrati stri. Those people who have not tasted the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord. Only such people, they become attracted to the external beautiful body of another person and gets attracted to a living corpse. So therefore, so this shloka is also quoted by Jiva Goswami to show that how the Lord's body is transcendental. So the demons like Hiranyakashipu, they directly attack the body of the Lord with their weapons, considering the body to be ordinary. And there are other demons, the modern demons, they attack the body of the Lord with their weapons, with their words, by propounding various theories like asatyam, apratishtam te, jagadahur, anishwaram. But the same mindset is also present in, we may not be demons like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, or we may not be philosophers like the Charvaks or the Mayavadis or the Buddhists who propound different theories. But there are ordinary materialistic people who also act in a demoniac way because they get attracted to the material body which is which contains blood, mucus, urine, stool, etc. That is also because why people get attracted, because they have not tasted the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So such people are also in bewilderment. Such people also in bewilderment. So either a person considers the Lord's body to be ordinary and attacks the body of the Lord with the weapons or with the words. And the another aspect of this same demonic mentality is that considering the ordinary body to be something exalted. Ordinary body to be exalted and becoming attracted to that ordinary body. This is another side of the same coin, same nonsense, the state of bewilderment of the demons, the underside of the same coin. And that is what is explained by Rukmini Devi here. A woman who fails to relish the fragrance of the honey of your lotus feet becomes totally befooled, and thus she accepts as her husband a lover, a living corpse covered with the skin, whiskers, nails, head hair and body hair, etc. And the same thing is confirmed in the another shloka. With this we will end here. In the personified Vedas prayers, 10.87.35. The Vedas are praying that Bhuvi Buru Punya Tirtha Sadanan Rishayo Vimadas Tavuta Bhavat Padambuja Hrudoga Bid Angri Jala Dadati Sakran Manas Twayi Ya Atmani Nitya Suke Na Punarupasate Purusha Sara Harava Satan. Sages free from false pride live on this earth by frequenting the sacred pilgrimage sites and those places where the Supreme Lord displayed his pastimes. Because such devotees keep your lotus feet within their hearts, the water that washes their feet destroys all sins. Anyone who even once turns his mind towards you, the ever blissful soul of all existence, no longer dedicates himself to serving the family life at home, which simply robs a man of his good qualities. So the similar theme, just like Rukmini Devi's shloka, in this, the personified Vedas are saying that that person who has truly even once tasted the transcendental pleasure in serving Krishna, or was once turned his mind towards Krishna, such a person no longer dedicates himself to the materialistic way of life. So, in this way, these are some thoughts I wanted to share in connection to today's shloka. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful class, Prabhuji. Very beautiful class. Yeah, demons will always be there, Prabhu. Since all the yugas and even today, age of today, we see that there are demoniac mentality peoples who are against devotees and Krishna himself. We see that on a daily basis. Sometime when we go out and even when we don't go out, there are criticizers who are there always. But I think that is why only Krishna, has sent his pure bhaktas like Srila Prabhupada to this material earth to keep propagating the name and, to keep giving us the bliss. Because if not for Srila Prabhupada today, if not for these ISKCON temples today, what people like me, sinful people like me, will be doing, right, Prabhu? So that is a blissful thing from God. That's how He take cares of us, I think, sending the saints to this planet Earth from always. He knows demons are there, but he kind of tries to balance this thing. Very beautiful class, Prabhu. And then nicely explained Karta and Karan, you explained, and how Hiranyakashipu was not understanding this, and you beautifully explained the boons that he forgot to ask. But that's how I think all Krishna Leela too there. I was thinking, about this bamboo tree. It stays straight, does not bow down. So we should be bowing down like every morning we chant, right? Tinadapi sunichena. So, and then this bamboo tree is found near to the sandalwood trees, but does not take the smell of the sandalwood trees, good smell. And when we are not in bhakti, we are like that. We are egoistic and not trying to take. But only when we come in bhakti, and it explains us how to be submissive to the vakya of Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. And then is only we get the real taste of bhakti, and we understand why we are here only. That is beautiful, Prabhu. And your last 10 minutes, I would say, if anybody loves the material body, your last 10 minutes of class will will disgust him from the material body. It's so strange, Prabhu, It's only Guru mercy, it's only Hanam, only Hare Krishna Maha Mantra that can deviate us from that path too. Because if I go 5 years back in my life, Prabhu, that material body seemed like everything, like opposite sex. It seemed like, oh, Baba, there is something in that. But today, in fact, when Guru's mercy is there and Krishna Naam is there, you don't try to eat meat. You don't try to, you actually are disgusted when you're even listening of eating meat. What to try to speak of eat meat? And no intoxication. We want to be intoxicated, but with Hari Naam, not with anymore with liquor and stuff. And of course, our senses, which we were trying to enjoy, maybe sometime with the opposite sex, we all have done that, especially me. But now those senses seems like are only has to be used in Krishna service only. Otherwise, this life is not useful. So very beautiful class, Prabhu. Very beautiful class. I was thinking of that. Srila Prabhupada also says many times, Evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kama bhikama anuya prapattan prasangat kritvatma sat surasena bhagavan grahita soham katham na visarche tava bhritya seva. Many lifetimes, Prabhuji, kama bhikama anuya prapattan prasangat. We have been there, and even this lifetime would have been finished there if some pure devotee from ISKCON wouldn't have handed us a Bhagavad Gita, or wouldn't have invited us to chant, or wouldn't have meet us on the road doing Harinam Sankirtan. So beautiful. All glories to Srila Prabhupada that he has created this. Otherwise, it was a different hellish life, I would say. So thank you, Prabhu, for giving lots of your time, and thank you all you read from Shastra, because Guru, Sadhu and Shastra is one thing that is keeping us out of this troublesome word, because this word is troublesome. We know that. Sansara Dava, Nalalita Loka. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. Very beautiful class. We all love your class.
Thank you very much, Vallabha Kripa Prabhu, for your very heartfelt realizations and thoughts which you have shared. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
All coming from your class, Prabhu. I have zero realization. I'm so fallen, Prabhu. Prabhuji, there is a comment in the chat box. I think that is Preeti Mataji, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Thank you for such a nice class. I'll read the comment, Prabhu. It was interesting to know about how demons attack the body of the Lord, considering it to be material. And the modern day demons are attacking the body of the Lord, considering it to be non-existent only. Also, like the analysis of Rukmini Devi's prayers. Thank you again. Yes, Prabhu. Oh, both these points were very beautiful, actually. Yes, I loved them too. How demons are there, but then bhaktas like Shri Prabhupada are there too. And Jananda Prabhu is also saying thanks for the beautiful class. Prabhuji, there is one question from Radha Jyoti Mataji. Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam, Prabhuji. Eternally grateful to you for Prabhuji. You have explained in details, and it is enriching class today. One question to you, Prabhuji. So question is, why Lord astonish us? He always gives contradiction, so it is difficult to understand him. He's so great. How we should understand this and improve quality of efforts which are impure now? So how should we understand the God's will, and how should we improve the quality of our efforts which are impure now? Haribol, over to you.
Yeah, we have to understand Krishna through the help of the devotees. One of the quality of Krishna is he has Achintya Shakti. The 64 qualities also it is mentioned that he has inconceivable potencies. By that he accomplishes that the impossible things in this world. So Krishna can be understood only through the devotees. When the Shastra book may be there, the Shastras are like a dense jungle. In the dense jungle, you can go to a particular desired place in the jungle only with the help of a person who is familiar with the jungle. So, even though the books may be there, that's why we say Bhagavad Gita is an open secret. Books are there, but still we have to, we cannot understand the Shastra without the help of a person. So the Lord makes himself available to a person only through the devotees. So therefore, in that way also we can see that why it is difficult to understand the Lord, because he wants to make himself available only through the devotees who can actually explain it properly. And how should we improve the quality of our efforts? We can improve the quality of our efforts by regularly hearing with attention, Anudinam and Adarat. Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitaptya Vidya Pittopatapta Rasanasya Narochikanu Kintwadaraad Anudinam Kalusaiva Jushta Swadvikramat Bhavati Tat Gatamulahantri. So right now we are affected by ignorance of avidya, but if we try to put the effort every day and with attention, with respect, then we can come out of our ignorant state, impure state, and we will be able to relish the actual taste in the Krishna's name and the Krishna Katha in due course of time.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So beautiful, Prabhu. So true, Prabhuji. You gave a beautiful example of jungle. Jungle, you will only enter with the only one who knows the jungle. Otherwise you will be lost. I was also thinking, Prabhu, in this material world also, sometime most of us, we have been to, 3D movies. If there is not that 3D glasses, you can see the movie, but there is no taste, or you don't understand that movie really well because that 3D glasses are missing. So that Guru act as those 3D glasses in that jungle, or in this Maya world, and shows us what is the reality of this Maya world only through his 3D glasses. Thank you, Prabhu. This jungle example is very nice.
Thank
Prabhu,
you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, there is Shivakumar Prabhu also with the hand raised. Hare Krishna, Shivakumar Prabhu, Dandava Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Ask to unmute. Shivakumar Prabhu, please try unmuting yourself. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandava Pranams. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandava Pranams, Prabhuji. Prabhu, one question, Prabhu, in today's class, you talked about in the start of the discussion that we have to be careful with Maya. We should not be complacent. So on that front, Prabhu, I just wanted to understand, we keep hearing that once we take up to the process of Shuddha Bhakti, we are not driven by our karma, whether it is pain or pleasure. We come under the purview of Krishna, and it not directly by our karma. So having understood that, Prabhu, especially for a long time sadhaka who have advanced by doing a lot of devotional service, when they themselves get bewildered, like some of them we are hearing even moved away from the process. How do we see, Prabhu, what is the role of Maya in the devotee's life as we advance? Because even for a sadhaka, we hear that there is Krishna's hand. So, any thoughts, Prabhu, on what is exactly Maya doing to the devotees as we advance?
See, the devotee has a free will. Yes, sadhaka is practicing. He has a free will. There are impressions of the, say, past habits are there, or one might commit certain offenses.
Okay.
So because of that, certain anarthas come up. And then when a person is not careful, one may fall victim to the anarthas and one may slip from the path of bhakti, at least temporarily. For the temporary period, it can be sometimes for some years also. So the free will is there. And yeah, Shastras say that when a person takes to pure bhakti, bhakti destroys the prarabdha karmas, aprarabdha karmas, putam, bijam, all these things. But we also see from the words of the devotees, the consciousness of the devotees. They think that they don't think that, oh, I have taken to pure bhakti, all my karmas are destroyed. They don't think like that. Rather, they think themselves to be ordinary. They think themselves to be ordinary. For example, in the Bhagavatam, when Prithu Maharaj meets the four Kumaras, Prithu Maharaj says that, I don't know what pious activities I have performed, what devotional service I have performed. Because of that, I have got an opportunity to meet you. Because to meet personalities like you, it is possible only by some bhakti sukruti. But when I look in my life, I don't think I have performed any bhakti. And then he concludes that I must have performed some bhakti unknowingly. And because of that, I have got an opportunity to associate with you. So Prabhupada says that the truth is that Prithu Maharaj's whole life is actually filled with bhakti. But because of the humility which is arising from the practice of pure bhakti, he is thinking himself to be an ordinary person who has not performed any bhakti. So therefore, Shastras, when a person takes to pure bhakti, he comes, Krishna definitely directly interferes in the life of a person. At the same time, when we study the consciousness of the devotees of the Lord, they think themselves to be ordinary. So, and then another point is that, as I mentioned, that so that free will is there. Because of that free will, one may misuse it. One may misuse that free will, and then, or sometimes the person may commit offenses. So that what some temporary fall.
Just one follow-up question, Prabhu. You talked about the free will. Now, if my positive experience, Prabhu, if patient in bhakti, is that why I would want to exercise free will in terms of material desire, or can there be some other causes of the misuse of free will?
Why I would want to exercise that free will? What is the first thing is it because of the positive?
If my experience in Krishna Bhakti is not nourishing satisfaction or contentment, is that why I would want to exercise my free will for something away from the path of bhakti? Or
because when a person is maybe not tasting the not having the higher taste.
Yes, Prabhu. And so I am forced to exercise my free will.
One may look for the taste outside. And another point is that sometimes one may not be. Sometimes it may not be because of the higher taste, but it may also be because one may not be situated properly. Once so from Varnashram point of view, that is also another angle. Sometimes a person's talents or nature, he may not have detailed that properly, because there is some satisfaction comes by detailing one's nature. So when that is, or a person is not situated properly in an ashrama, or a person is situated in a wrong ashrama or something, that also because of that a person may commit mistakes. That is why so one reason is that because not experiencing the higher taste, one looks for the taste in some material objects. And second reason is that because of not being situated properly in Varnashram, which Prabhupada says in the Gajendra pastime. Although Gajendra was extremely powerful, but when he was situated in the water, he could not win over the crocodile, because that was not his natural state. So bhakti is very powerful. Let's say Gajendra is very powerful, bhakti is very powerful. But still, when we are not situated in a natural situation, because of that, we may be losing our enthusiasm. So that is also another aspect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shivakumar. Beautiful question. Thank you, Prabhuji. Beautiful answer. I was also reading yesterday Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Srila Prabhupada beautifully explains. He says submissiveness in a disciple should be there. More you are submissive, more the bhakti will go up. You know, if there is no submissiveness, then there is no bhakti, and then there is always free will. We can always go away. But yeah, Shivakumar Prabhu, you are a beautiful devotee. Those questions help all of us, and questions should be asked. And thank you, Prabhu, for a beautiful answer. Prabhuji, if you have a couple of more minutes, there are two more questions from Radha Jyoti Mataji again. Mataji is asking first about the disguise point Rukmini Mataji explained. That you explained.
Disgust, actually.
Yeah, disgust.
Rukmini Devi is explaining what are the different substances within the material body. Like bile, mucus, urine, stool, etc. So I mentioned that when you are aware of these substances within the material body, the only rasa which a person can relish in relation to the material body is the bibhatsa rasa. That means a sense of disgust. Just like but still we find the material body to be attractive. We also do get exposed to the realities of the material body in different times of the day. In our own body also, sometimes we visit hospitals or we see different things in the news. We get exposed to that reality, but still we look forward for that bibhatsa rasa, or we get attracted to relishing that bibhatsa rasa, because a person has not tasted the taste in Krishna Bhakti, or serving Krishna. So only those people who have not tasted the fragrance of the lotus feet of Krishna, they get attracted to the material body, which can only offer the bibhatsa rasa. That is what Rukmini is saying.
Thank you, Prabhu. Beautiful, Prabhu. As I said earlier, if somebody likes the body, like the body of, of a person or opposite sex, he should listen to last 15 minutes of your class, and that vibhasa rasa should be there. This body, I want to, do this and that, and then you're thinking, "Arey Baba, is the same body filled of mucus and stool and whatnot. What are you getting? Put your senses to what Krishna only. Go and serve in temple." So very beautiful, Prabhu. We need that. We need those lessons, Prabhu, which can put us straight in line. Prabhu, Mataji is asking also second question. Are the demons aware of Shastras? Demons know that Shastras are there?
Demons are, many of the demons are, they studied the Shastras.
I am one of those,
They studied the
Mataji.
Shastras, but they may not have faith in the words of the Shastras. Or they may interpret the Shastras in their own way. Agyascha ashradadhanascha samshayatma vinashyati. Nayam lokosti naparo nasukam samshayatmana. There are some people who are completely ignorant of the Shastras, Agya. There are others who have knowledge of the Shastra, but they don't have faith in the Shastra. And then there are others who have knowledge of the Shastra, who may have faith in the Shastra, but they have doubt. Oh, this will not work in my life. I doubt that these principles will work in my life. Such people are doubtful people. That way, these three people, they cannot attain perfection in this life or in the next life.
Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Such a beautiful class, Prabhu. And many examples from Shastras, Guru and Sadhu. Shamagori Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. all good.
Ekadashi Mataji, if you are having Ekadashi over there, we are having
Yeah.
Ekadashi Nirjala
Happy
today.
Ekadashi,
Happy
Prabhuji.
Ekadashi. Happy Ekadashi.
Thank you so much. Very, very wonderful class. And thank you so much for the example of the snake. At the beginning, you said that was really amazing, when we become like confident and then we make accidents in driving also. Over confidence only we make accident. Otherwise, we are very careful and taking turns and everything. We look 3 times, and then only we enter. But when we become confident, we go and we make an accident. So everything like in bhakti also, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for that shloka quoted by Rukmini Devi. It was really amazing, to see, means who has not taken shelter of lotus feet of the Lord. They only can see the beauty of this material world. So, yeah, we are like, even though we have taken shelter, but it's not fully confident, So we are still making mistakes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, from last 10 years you are listening Bhagavatam. Don't say that, otherwise I will have no hope.
No,
Otherwise, I have
Prabhuji,
no
you
hope.
are more advanced than me.
No. Hari bol, Hari
Yes,
bol.
number of years doesn't count actually.
Hari bol, Hari bol.
Bhakti.
But yeah, your point is good, Mataji. To not make accidents, that's why we follow only seniors. Seniors are going, we are behind them. We know they are not going to make accidents. Just follow them. Hari bol, Hari bol. So dear devotees, it's getting late also and I don't see any more questions or hand raised. So let us pay our obeisances to Prabhuji and all the assembled Vaishnavas on the call. Vancha kalptaru
Vancha kalpataru
Kalpatarupesha kripa sindhubhyo vacha Nitya Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jagat Guru
Jai.
Prabhupada ji ki jai. His Grace Radhika Vallabha Prabhu ji ki jai. Ekadashi Mahamahotsav ki jai.
Jai.
Bol, Hari bol.
Nirjala Ekadasi ki jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are not closing the call as like every Ekadasi. We do read the Ekadasi glories. So if you are available, please stay back.